What's up everyone, MeJP2 here, and in today's video we have my level 50 Greninja coming back to the Master League. Now this thing is so fun to run. There's so many Pokemon that are just weak to this thing, and it's hilarious. I mean, Yveltal isn't weak to Greninja, its move of Sucker Punch is still resisted, so Greninja is able to deal massive damage with Hydro Cannons, and while it doesn't always take it out, it still is able to get him basically into the red health, even if it doesn't take him out. Now, there's also the Psychic types, the Necrozmas, which I've already hunted those with Houndoom, but I wanted to try out Greninja too, because Greninja, it has Night Slash, which is so much faster, and Dawn Wings still gets taken out by 2 Night Slashes, and with the absurd pacing of Water Shuriken, Greninja is actually able to take out Dawn Wings before Dawn Wings even makes it to a Moongeist Beam, as long as there's no shields in play. The other Pokemon I wanted to hunt was Rhyperior. With the Mudslap buff, the thing's everywhere, and Greninja can actually outpace Rhyperior to Hydro Cannons, and Hydro Cannon just straight up one-shots Rhyperior, making it fun. Anyways, let's get to the battles. Alright, so into the first battle, and we lead Greninja into a Duskmane Necrozma. This is a hilarious matchup for Greninja, because despite being almost 1,500 combat power difference, the Necrozma is the one who has to switch out because they're in such a bad matchup. They send out Palkia, and typically Dragonite should not be a good response to Palkia just because they can typically just double shield and farm down, I think. This Palkia actually chooses to throw a move. Now this allows my Necrozma to make it to 2 Shadow Claws and get the nice farm down, allowing for a small energy head start. Now they send in Landorus, and we're just going to Sunsteel Strike it. That was debuffed, but now we just send in Greninja to get the snipe, and they send in Necrozma, and they're just done. They can see the match. We see Dawn Wings in the next battle. Now, Dawn Wings is double weak to Dark, whereas Duskmane is only single weak. That Night Slash does so much damage, and as you can see, the Dawn Wings doesn't even get a chance to make it to a Moongeist Beam before we already make it to 2 Night Slashes. They then send in Palkia. They did not farm up to a Spatial Rent here, so they go for the Aqua Tail, not going to take me out, and now they send in a Solgaleo. Now, Greninja's kind of set up to sweep here. They shielded the Dragon Claw bait, and now they're going to get hit with a superpower. We get into the yellow with the Dragon Breaths, and I'm just going to send in my own Necrozma just to tank the damage. Psychic Fangs is resisted, and now they try to get a snipe with the Necrozma Dawn Wings, but we're going to shield the Moongeist Beam. Now we have double Night Slashes, so if they let that go through, that's fine. Their Solgaleo's going to make it to a Psychic Fangs. It's double resisted, not going to take me out, not even close. And now I'm just going to be able to go for 1 Night Slash. We even get the boost. Completely unnecessary. Shielding this also would not be necessary. I don't think it takes us out even with the debuff, but we can just go for the Hydro Cannon for disrespect, and we take him out, and we take that game. See a Metagross lead in the next battle. Once again, a dominant matchup for Greninja. These battles are not even out of order. This is just the order that I recorded them, and there's just so many Pokemon that get led that are just weak to Greninja, with the exception of Dragon types and Kyogre. And so, because of that, there's just so many leads that are weak to Greninja, so the thing's fun. It's just an amazing Corebreaker too, because they can also have a Fire or Ground or whatever type in the back that's also weak to Greninja, so it's really hard for them to switch out. So, we're going to be able to go for a Dragon Claw bait into the Metagross, and now we're going to be able to get their second shield with a superpower, because they have a bunch of energy. Unfortunately for them, we're just going to snipe the energy. And they have Mewtwo in the back, so as you can see, they're ABA weak there too, just to Dark types in general. I don't know what they do if they see a Yveltal lead, but they're just kind of screwed if they see one. Anyways, next battle, and we lead Greninja into Kyogre. Now, this is not a good matchup just because of the stat product difference, and because of the fact that despite Greninja is able to hit for neutral with Night Slashes and Thunder gets shielded, we're still not in a good matchup just because Waterfall has some pretty heavy fast move pressure. Missed the Excellent on that Night Slash, which is pretty disappointing. But now, I'm going to be able to go for a second Night Slash and actually get another shield. I was quite surprised they shielded that because it would not have taken them out. But I'm all for it, as they can now just get farmed down by Dragonite. Now, Dragonite does have to tank a Thunder, but then they send in Sylveon, and I almost concede the match after seeing a Heatran. But then I remember I'm up a shield and up energy, so I actually can just take him out with 2 Dark Pulses. And Sylveon, not going to be able to take us out with Charm just because Charm's resisted, and Charm's also not that good in the Master League in general, But so we just make it to a Sunsteel. Even if they had made a Psyshock there, it probably wouldn't have taken us out. But Sunsteel definitely takes out Sylveon, and we take that game. See, Yveltal in the next battle. This Yveltal is actually on Snarl. Yveltal is actually probably supposed to run Sucker Punch nowadays, because Sucker Punch is just the new counter. But we're going to be able to go for multiple Hydro Cannons before they even throw a move. Now, they're going to go for a move here. They Dark Pulse me. And now they're going to go for another move. This is probably another Dark Pulse. It is. We shield it. They then send in Xerneas, which is kind of a problem. Because it's not Solgaleo, Necrozma is down a shield, and with the power of close combat, Xerneas actually does very well into it's not Solgaleo, it's Necrozma. Does fairly well into Duskmane Necrozma, even when it's a Fairy type into a Steel type. With the shield advantage, it can be difficult. Now, thankfully, they do not end up shielding the second Sunsteel, and now we send in Greninja, and we get the snipe of the Yveltal. We even get a boost, and oh, it's Dawn Wings in the back. This is going to be fun. They shield that Night Slash, but we got a boost. And now we're going to lose CMP here, but we have a shield. We're not on 1 HP, so we're able to tank the Dark Pulse. And that Night Slash one-shots the Necrozma. Absolutely hilarious. See, Conkeldurr in the lead in the next battle. Pretty bad lead. Thankfully, since Counter got nerfed, and it's kind of not good anymore, Conkeldurr's kind of fallen off. Especially because you can't really run it with Poison Jab. But so, they sent in their own Duskmane in response to mine. Now, the thing about that is if you send a Duskmane into one that already has energy, you're basically just saying that you're going to commit both shields, or at least one shield, because I'm going to make it to a Dark Pulse before they do any day. Now, they send back in the Conkeldurr. We're able to just tank the Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing's got nerfed. Well, I guess it's not a nerf, it's more of a change. But in terms of Conkeldurr, it kind of got nerfed because it's the same pacing because of the counter nerf. So, by extension, I guess Brutal Swing got nerfed on Conkeldurr. But anyways, they then send in Dragonite. We're able to get their shield, and they have a Conkeldurr. We've seen it before. It's already at like half HP. Now, we have double Hydro Cannons, but I'm going to go for a Night Slash just for disrespect. Takes them out, and we take that game. See, another Yveltal on the lead in the next battle. This one's actually on Sucker Punch. Now, we're going to be able to Hydro Cannon them. So you can see this Yveltal seems to be a bit underleveled, as the Hydro Cannon actually does get them into EL. Now, they go for an Oblivion Wing. It doesn't actually take us out, and we're able to just take Switch Advantage. They send in a Shadow Rhyperior. This can be quite problematic. So they can go for a Breaking Swipe, and now we're going to be able to go for Dragon Claw. This will not take them out, but it'll come pretty close. It especially doesn't take them out because they shield it. But now we're going to be able to shield the Breaking Swipe, and I don't think they got a single debuff there, or I might have just missed it. But anyways, they're going to go for a third one, and no debuff still. We see a Home Slice Henry video pop up as a superpower in Metagross, and now we have a second superpower, so I'm just going to do this to try and force their shield. And now, send in Necrozma. Now, Necrozma will fully Shadow Claw them down. Earthquake's not going to take us out. Does a respectable amount of damage. It doesn't take us out. Now, they send in Rhyperior. The Rhyperior is at like 1 HP. I'm pretty sure this Sunsteel takes out several Rhyperiors, but we are able to take the game. See Shadow Mewtwo on the lead in the next battle. Shadow Mewtwo is actually a better lead for us than the regular, because I think the regular, if you haven't maxed out, can tank 2 Night Slashes, while the Shadow can't. But they can make a very nice catch of the Night Slash onto Dragonite. Now, I will be forced to shield the Dragon Claw, which is unfortunate, but now we just get the farm down of their Dragonite. Now, the game, I think that was a stutter there, because I only wanted to go for 1 Dragon Breath, but the game instead has me go for 2, which makes me lose CMP on the Side Strike, which is awful, because I had to go down 2 shields there. Now, I'm able to get both the shields right back, which is pretty cool, thankfully. So, now, they have a Yveltal in the back, and we're just going to superpower them with Dragonite, get them into Hydro Cannon range, make it to a Hydro Cannon with Greninja, and just take them out. Now, they send in the Mewtwo, but we make it to a Night Slash. Night Slash takes them out, and we are able to take that game. This is one of the worst leads we can see. Palkia is awful. This one's on Dragon Tail, which is interesting, because if you run Dragon Tail, since Palkia gets Dragon Breath, it gets a Dragon Breath breakpoint and a Dragonite, I think, like barely. If you're running Dragon Tail, you're basically throwing it away. Now, we're going to be able to just go for double Dragon Claws into this Hydreigon. Doesn't take him out, unfortunately. But now, I'm going to shield the Brutal Swing. And I think they might have made it to another one, I'm not sure. So I just sniped with Greninja. But now they send in the Palkia, which isn't good. Now, I go for the Night Slash, they shield it, but we actually get the boost. Not entirely useful because we immediately get taken out right after, but it's still pretty cool. Now we're going to no-shield the Aqua Tail, and now we're going to farm up to 100 energy. We're going to Dark Pulse the Palkia, take him out, and in the back, it's Groudon. Now I CMP him here, and Sunsteel barely doesn't take him out. It's really close, but they make it to the Fire Punch. Fire Punch will take me out, and we do lose that game, unfortunately. Bit more favorable the lead, we lead Greninja into Mewtwo. Opponents just will continue to catch moves from Greninja. Regardless, still probably not the worst thing, because a little bit of chip damage into the Yveltal will not hurt me at all. Now they are going for Snarls, which is, I think I already mentioned that Sucker Punch is just strictly better now, but I think Snarl is slightly better for pacing. Now they are going to send in the Mewtwo. We have a Dragon Claw. This might get a shield, might just do some damage. And now if they want to go and just take me out before I make it to another move, they're going to have to Side Strike me. Now I will be able to send in Greninja. Greninja can tank a Side Strike pretty easily, and they try to make a catch onto Dialga. Frankly, throwing a Night Slash wouldn't have been a bad idea there, because it does add a bit more fast move pressure. Well, it does add a bit more pressure to them because of my fast moves. But now I'm going to no-shield. They actually go for the Iron Head. I'm pretty sure they read a Draco there. I'm not entirely sure. I still actually don't know Draco Meteor counts because I don't really care enough to memorize them. Regardless, they're going to Iron Head me. And now I'm expecting them to make a catch on a Mewtwo, but they actually don't. Now I just Dark Pulse him, takes him out, and I just send in Greninja. So we're able to Night Slash and take him out, and we are able to take that game. See, is Zekrom lead in the next battle. Once again, pretty terrible matchup, so I'm just going to send in Dragonite. Now, Dragonite's going to be able to Dragon Claw, which will easily get a shield. And now, if they want to take me out, they're going to have to go for a move, because otherwise I'd make a Dragon Claw. They do just decide to catch on the Metagross, which is another valid option. Now, I'm going to be able to send in Greninja. Greninja tanks Meteor Mash. Not the most comfortably, though, I might add. But now, I have double Night Slash already. First one actually gets a shield. I was quite surprised. They probably want Greninja gone then. But I just make it to another Night Slash. I do get the boost, but unfortunately, just because Greninja is already so low, they would have farmed me down before I make it to another move. So the Night Slash boost is practically useless. Now, I am able to just go for another Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is going to take out the Ho, and we just farm down the Zekrom, and we take that game. See a Kyogre leading the next battle? We've seen this one before. Now, I don't know why some Kyogres decide to go for Thunder, because Surf probably already takes it out. They then pivot into Dialga, and I think my Duskmane is quite happy to see Dialga. I will still respect the Roar of Time, because that still almost takes me out, because Roar of Time is ridiculous. But now, I'm going to be able to just go for several Dark Pulses. This won't take him out, but it'll get pretty close. Now, I will just shield another move, because I don't think they make it to 2 moves anymore anyways. So they go for the Iron Head, probably trying to make it to another move, but they're not gonna. They then send in Kyogre. I just pivot Dragonite, and they send in Dawn Wings. Unfortunately, we're down a shield, which means Moonguy's Beam is going to obliterate Dragonite. But I have a Greninja that should be able to make it to several Night Slashes before they ever make it to another move. We're already at 2.5 Night Slashes, so they're probably just gonna let this go. They do, and now they send in Kyogre. Now, Kyogre will be hit with a Night Slash. We'll make it to another one immediately. This Surf, unfortunately, does take us out. Well, it's a Thunder. It definitely takes us out now. But now I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse. I use Zero Bubble it because I knew for a fact they were shielding it. But I'm going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse, and because I make it to this Dark Pulse, we're able to take him out, and we do take that game. Into the next battle, and we lead Greninja into another Mewtwo. Purified Mewtwo, I might add. Now, they try to make a catch on a Zarude. I finally actually expect it, and just switch into Dragonite, and they're going to go for Dark Pulse. Now, Vinewith's double resisted. Even if they go for second Dark Pulse and I let it land, it's still they never farm me down. They will make it to a Dark Pulse here. Kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. We tank it. They don't farm me down. I actually wait a second just so they can get me lower so the Mewtwo gets less farm. Probably denies them 1 Psycho Cut worth of energy, but just denying any energy is worth it. I immediately send in Greninja and Night Slash them just to force a shield. And now, as long as they're not on Thunderbolt, I don't think they have anything that can take me out. I'm going to throw a Night Slash. This will take them out. And in the back, it's Dawn Wings. Dawn Wings is so common, and Greninja loves it. Now, we're just going to make another catch. This is insanely disrespectful. We did not need that catch. But now we're going to get a 2-shield flex because of it. Opponent not having it and just lets the Night Slash go. Into the next battle, and we lead Greninja into Gyarados. I throw 1 Water Shuriken and then send in Dragonite. Now they send in Togekiss, which kind of not good for Dragonite. And so we're going to be able to get some okay damage onto them, actually get them into the yellow. But now I can't send in Greninja, so I have to send in Duskmane. As you can see, we're going to be able to shield the Flamethrower and probably get a full farm down, honestly. And so they are not going to let us get a full farm down, and they're going to send in Gyarados. Now I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse, and they're going to shield it. I'm going to throw another Dark Pulse. They actually do let that one go through. And now if this is a crunch, it gets me really low, so I have to shield. It is the crunch, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately there's no debuff. Now, they shield the next Dark Pulse, and we're just going to send in Greninja and outpace them because that's kind of what Greninja was built for. Now, instead of sending in Togekiss, they send in Mewtwo. I will never understand that decision. Night Slash hits for massive damage. We're able to just fully farm down the Togekiss when they try to make a catch, and we're going to Night Slash the Mewtwo. Opponent appears to have Force Quit the app as it just takes so long to throw that charge move. Just public service announcement, don't do that, it's annoying. Anyways, we see Rhyperior leading the next battle. Opponent immediately safe switches Dragonite, and I know for a fact they're shielding the first move, just because they're obviously going to try and fight for switch advantage here, because Greninja into Rhyperior is amazingly bad. They actually no-shield it, so now I'm eating my own words. I'm pretty sure this is the only Dragonite safe switch that did not shield the first move. Now I'm going to Dark Pulse them. I initially think about going for an Honor Charge, but I end up deciding against it. Now I do make it to a Sunsteel, so thankfully I get my shield right back. And now, consenting Greninja, I make it to the Hydro Cannon. This will take out Rhyperior, so we're going to see a shield. And now, we're going to be able to actually expect the catch this time. I actually did predict a catch there, thankfully, so I don't waste energy. And they send in Necrozma. All I have to do here to win is just make it to a Night Slash plus a Hydro Cannon on Greninja without expending my shield, because Greninja will most likely lose CMP to Rhyperior, but we have a shield. And even if they get a Breaking Swipe debuff here, Hydro Cannon's double super effective, so it takes him out. I think if the Necrozma had gone for the Sunsteel and taken out Dragonite, I think we still would have won, but we'll never know because it didn't happen. We see a Groudon lead in the next battle. Very good lead. Opponent immediately sends in Dialga, and we're just going to send in Duskmane. Now, Duskmane can take care of Dialga as long as there's shields in play, because I think otherwise Aurora of Time just slaps Necrozma out of existence, but because we do have shields in play, we're going to do fine. We go for another Dark Pulse, and thankfully we can just farm them down now, because they already committed a shield, so we're just going to be able to shield the Iron Head, get a full farm down, and a Sunsteel Strike should be able to get any shield, get their shield back, because nothing wants to tank it, but they send in Kyogre. Now we're just going to hit him with Dragonite, and they send in Groudon, but Groudon's just going to get hit with so many Hydro Cannons. This is only a Fire Punch. I know it, they know it. Now we're just going to farm up a bunch because I know that there's still going to be quite a few mud shots off. And now Kyogre can't do anything. It's down a shield and down HP into a Dragonite, so it's kind of game over. Going to be able to go for the Night Slash. They're absurdly low. I'm going to shield because I'm not about to get hit by a Blizzard. I'm not taking that risk. It is a Surf, but we're just going to go for a Superpower. This will easily take him out from this range, and we're going to be able to take that game. See another Rhyperior leading the next battle. Water Shurikens are going to hit for double super effective, but it's not the most damaging move, so it doesn't matter. We Hydro Cannon them. They're going to Breaking Swipe us. Even if they get a debuff, we still probably take them out with Hydro Cannon. I was fully expecting them to try and make a catch, that's why I overfarmed, but now I am the one who has to go down a shield. Now I'm going to be able to go for a Hydro Cannon, but we're actually double debuff now. I wait the turn there to see if they catch. That's always a good play. Always make sure that they don't catch by waiting, if you can. But now, they send in Florges. Florges is going to get hit by a Sunsteel Strike, and so they're going to be able to go for a Moonblast. Moonblast's not going to take us out. They then send in Ursaluna. Now, Ursaluna can be a problem because of high horsepower and Ice Punch, so it kind of does have a move to hit both of my remaining Pokemon for super effective. Thankfully, I'm just going to hit them with a Superpower, get them low enough that, thankfully we won CMP there. If we lost CMP, I think I would have lost on the spot. But we're going to get them low enough that we actually just fully Shadow Claw farm them down. And now Florges is going to get hit by the most powerful Steel move in the game. We get the screenshot, and we're able to take that game. Another Dawn Wings lead. Dawnwings is actually a very cool shiny. I have seen quite a few shiny Dawnwings, and I think it's very cool. Anyways, they go for an Aqua Tail with their Palkia into my Necrozma, and we're going to go for a Dark Pulse. Now, maintaining switch advantage is my priority here, because Greninja will destroy Necrozma every single day of the week, and so I'm going to try and fight for switch. I Dark Pulse them, they just let it go, they're probably trying to get shields, and they have Rhyperior. They're kind of core broken now. I am down a shield, unfortunately, so I'm going to send in Dragonite just to hopefully get the shield back. They try and go for Superpower Catch, but they're just going to get hit so hard by Greninja. Dawnwings is going to not even make it to a move before I'm at double Night Slashes. They just let it go, and they send in Rhyperior, and while we do lose CMP, and I want to save my shields, Greninja actually hangs on. This was very impressive. Anyways, we go for a Night Slash, get another boost, get one Water Shuriken off. That Water Shuriken did so much damage. And now we're just going to fast move him down. Doesn't even matter, we got debuff. Dragon Breath's just going to farm him down, and we do take that game. See, another Dawnwings lead. Once again, these things are so common. Anyways, we're going to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash will do massive damage. They don't even get it to a Moongeist Beam. We already are at another Night Slash. We just force a shield. We then get a boost, and they send in Yveltal. Now, this is a boosted Hydro Cannon. It nearly takes out the Yveltal. This is why I love this Greninja. It gets out of control so fast. Now, we're going to be able to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash is going to take out the Yveltal. And they send in a Shadow Regigigas. That is a pick I have never seen. Hydro Cannon nearly one-shots the thing. I try and get a farm down. I don't get the farm down, unfortunately. But I'm going to still be able to take this game because they Dark Pulse my Necrozma, and we just farm down and we take that game. We see a Dialga Origin on the lead in the next battle. Not the best lead, and not the best switch in from the opponent, as Kyogre is going to do very well into my Necrozma. We did get enough of an energy head start that we actually are able to go for a Dark Pulse, and now we're able to get shield advantage. For this matchup, that's about all I could ask for. All I'm going to do now is get a farm down with my Dragonite, and with that much energy, there may be some threats to the Dialga, because Superpower can't hit them for super effective. No Dialga is going to be able to not go in against a Dragonite, though, so I knew they were going to send in Dialga. Even if they had like a Fairy type, they're still sending in Dialga. They send in Necrozma after getting a few Dragon Breaths with Dialga, probably trying to get a Superpower Catch, but now they're going to get hit by a bunch of Night Slashes. I overfarm accidentally here, which does force me to commit a shield, which is not the best. But that Night Slash is going to hit for some nice damage, and we're able to get a farm down. Now, I'm going to Dragon Claw the Dialga. They're going to shield it, and now we're going to Superpower them. Superpower hits for some pretty heavy damage. We're at a Night Slash, so that second Night Slash is very helpful. Takes them out, and we take that game. We see a Zarude on the lead in the next battle. Absolute worst Pokemon to see. Opponent appears to be lagging a bit, which is a shame. I do hope Niantic fixes their game eventually, because I don't think that's a connection issue on their end. I think it's just Niantic being Niantic, but whatever. Regardless, we're going to Dragon Claw the Zarude, take them out, and they send in Yveltal. I think I threw an alignment there by accident, which is not the best, but I'm able to get a shield with a Dragon Claw. I'm going for another Dragon Claw, because I'm hoping I can make it to a third one, and we do. We actually make it to a Superpower, though, which is even better, because Superpower is going to hit slightly harder. When I say slightly, I mean we almost took him out with that. Now we're going to be one shot by Focus Blast, actually, which not fun, but it is a nice way to get rid of the Yveltal's energy, I guess. Now they're going to Fire Punch my Necrozma, and I was hoping, actually no, not hoping, I thought that the Yveltal had more HP than it did, so that's why I farmed up so much and tanked an extra Fire Punch, but thankfully they're very low, so the Dark Pulse just takes them out, and we do take that game. See a Mewtwo leading the next battle, and we're going to just go for the Night Slash straight away. Thankfully, this Mewtwo doesn't get a catch. Night Slash does about half, and now they're going to be able to Side Strike me. They did, I think, throw an alignment, and they send in Necrozma. Well, that's not a good thing to send into Greninja. We make it to 2 Night Slashes before they even make it to a Dark Pulse. They get really low because of that, and now it's going to shield the Dark Pulse and go for another Night Slash. I very, very much undercharge it, but it still takes them out, which is a shame. But then they send in Dialga. Now, Dialga's not going to like to see Necrozma, and their Mewtwo's not going to either. They shield the Necrozma, and now they're going to go for a move, probably Roar Time. It's actually an Iron Head bait, though. It's actually really bad that I shield that, because now they're probably going to make it to a Roar of Time before I'm able to make a catch, which probably does just straight up take out Necrozma from this range. Roar of Time does obliterate Necrozma, and I'm going to send in Dragonite. Now, I farmed up a bit extra just to make sure they didn't catch. They didn't, and now they sent in the Mewtwo, but we're going to be able to make it to a Night Slash, since they left with almost 0 energy, probably. And we're able to make it to the Night Slash, one Water Shuriken takes him out, and we do take that game. Another Dawn Wings on the lead. It never stops. Those things are everywhere. Regardless, Night Slash gets a shield. They then safe switch into Palkia. Thankfully, we have Necrozma. I actually did proceed to power up a Primarina after this, just because I was seeing so many Palkia and it gets annoying. But for now, Necrozma is our answer to it. They're going to go for an Aqua Tail. I will spend the shield advantage that I got earlier, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get a farm down, so I'm going to have to throw another Dark Pulse. They shielded, though, and I have to shield back if I want to keep switch advantage, which I 100% do. And now, they send in Yveltal. I try to go for the Dark Pulse. I don't go for it, though, unfortunately, which is going to cost me a bit of energy, but it's alright. Now, this Necrozma is at a Moongeist. I think they might not have. I'm not sure when they switched out. Regardless, I try to farm up extra, but they just go for another Dark Pulse to take me out. That was strategic, though, because now I get a massive farm down, and they have Sucker Punch, which is a bit more fast move pressure than Snarl, but one Oblivion Wing doesn't take me out, so I can go for one Dragon Claw, then one Superpower, and that should be enough to take them out. So going for the Superpower, Moment of Truth, it does take them out, and we do take that game. See Greninja into Dialga Origin in the next battle. Not very good, but that Dialga's on Metal Claw. I've never seen that before. I mean, Metal Claw did get buffed this season, I guess, but still, it's Metal Claw. It's not good. So we're just gonna Dark Pulse them. They're gonna shield it, actually, and they still never farm me down because this is Metal Claw, not Iron Head. We're gonna be the ones farming them down. We leave with a Sunsteel, and they send in Palkia, so we can't Sunsteel that. Probably should have, though. But actually, because they shield it, and because we went for the Dark Pulse, we actually make it to another one, so probably better that we didn't. Regardless, we're going to send in Dragonite. I'm going to shield here. Even if this is an Aqua Tail, they still don't make it to a Spatial Rend. And it's Metagross in the back. GG's on the spot, as we make it to 2 Night Slashes before they even make it to an Earthquake. I don't think a second Night Slash would have KO'd, but we actually get the boost. So now it does. Now we're going to Hydro Cannon to Palkia. This is something I've always wanted to do. Hydro Cannon takes out the Dragon and Water type that double resists Hydro Cannon, and we do take that game. Pretty bad lead in the next battle, as we lead Dragonite against my Greninja. Now, they superpower my Necrozma, and then they send in Dialga. Dialga's still not a good answer to Necrozma, especially up this much energy, so there's a good chance we can flip switch. Not sure how useful that'll be, but it might be helpful later. They're going to be forced to shield the Dark Pulse, and if they want to take me out, they have to Draco. They do Draco, and because of that, I think we just farm them down. So we get the full farm down, we leave with an absolutely absurd amount of energy. And now there's basically nothing that's going to want to tank a Sunsteel. We Dark Pulse first. They do end up calling it, which is quite unfortunate, but they have to shield this one if they want to keep their Dragonite. They actually just fully let it go, and in the back it's Melmetal. I'm going to bank a Dark Pulse for later, in case they superpower and debuff themselves, because then the Dark Pulse will do more. But I'm just going to go for Hydro Cannon. Now, they probably should have overfarmed more here, but I can understand why not, because if I make it to another Hydro Cannon, they have to give up a shield. Now, my plan here is just to get them low enough that a superpower or a Dark Pulse takes them out, and I think they're at that range, so I'm going to superpower. This 100% grabs their shield, and now Necrozma with the Dark Pulse should be able to either take them out or get them close enough that we can farm them down. We are able to just take them out, though, and we take that game. Pretty bad lead again, as we lead into Dialga. Send in Necrozma, and they send in Giratina Origin. Now, this is not the best response to Necrozma, if I'm being honest, because I can just call an Ominous Wind, because have you ever seen a Giratina Origin not Ominous Wind bait? It's so common. We're actually able to get a Simul KO, and we're actually able to get a shield, and now no one really has switch advantage because it's random. I was pretty sure they'd send in the Dialga again, so I sent in Dragonite. And while Dragonite is going to get hit for super effective by Dragon Breath, we're still going to be able to make it to a bunch of superpowers, which can threaten the Dialga. Now, I did not want to CMP tie the Melmetal here, as now I'm forced to give it a shield, which not something I wanted to do. But I am going to be able to just catch the Rock Slide on Greninja. I don't get a sneak, though, unfortunately, but What can you do? We're going to be able to go for a Night Slash in this Melmetal. They probably shouldn't shield it, though. They actually end up shielding it, though. I think that does lose the game on the spot for them, as they then proceed to Superpower me, and I'm just going to make it to two Superpowers with my Dragonite. First one takes out Dialga, second one will take out Melmetal. I think if they just hadn't shielded the Melmetal, Dialga could have one-shielded and Dragon Breath through my whole team, but because they did, we are able to win the game. See another Melmetal lead in the next battle. Now, Greninja, not the best into Melmetal, but we should be able to make it to a Hydro Cannon before they're able to make it to double Superpowers. So we're going to be able to get them into the yellow. And now, if they Rock Slide me, it doesn't take me out. They go for one Rock Slide, and they're just going to double Rock Slide me. Because they actually went for two Rock Slides, I'm willing to shield it. And now, I'm going to be able to go for Night Slash. This probably will get a shield because a Hydro Cannon would KO. And I'm going to be able to go for another Night Slash. I probably should have gone for Hydro, though, just because that would deal more damage. But I didn't even see that the Hydro was there. I thought I'd just make it to a Night Slash. But regardless, they're going to Superpower my Necrozma. They're going to Superpower my Necrozma. And now we just get a full farm down. Now, Necrozma up a shield. Very fun to use. They send a Tyranitar. They try to make a catch onto Lugia. Not going to go well for him. We're able to go for one Dark Pulse. And we're going to try and get a catch onto Dragonite. We don't get the catch, unfortunately. But we are able to just win CMP with Dragon Claw. And now we can just no-shield the Sky Attack, as it won't take us out, and they just concede the match. I was really hoping I could Sunsteel one-shot the Tyranitar, but what can you do? Win's a win. We then see Greninja into Kyogre in the next battle. We've seen this one before, not exactly a good lead, but we're going to be able to make it to two Night Slashes before they're able to take us out with any move. So we're going to be able to just let this, I think this is a Thunder, go through. They actually do hit me with a Surf, though, and I go for a Hydro Cannon here. This was for science, because I didn't even know if it did more. I think it does about the same. I'll probably check that later. But now, we're going to send in Dragonite. Dragonite will tank a Surf, and now they're going to send in Yveltal. As you might have seen, I was trying to immediately pivot into Necrozma, but I'm very glad I decided not to do that, because Yveltal would be a pain for Necrozma to deal with. Now, I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw, and I will be able to make it to another one. Then they send in Rhyperior. Rhyperior is a right problem, but thankfully, we have two shields. So now we just let this Breaking Swipe go through. And Breaking Swipe, not going to take me out. They can go for another one. I probably should have shielded these, though, because I think now they just fast move beat down me. So I'm going to go for a Sunsteel. Sunsteel, I undercharge it a bit. Still takes him out, but now we just get fast move down. And I do lose that game. We see a Duskmane in the next battle. The opponent immediately safe switches into Rayquaza. If I had a Fairy type in the back, they would regret that decision, but I unfortunately do not. I still have a Steel type, though, which is good enough that we should be able to maintain switch. They're going to hit me with a Breaking Swipe here. Does get the debuff, unfortunately. But now I was hoping I could get low enough that they might try to just double shield farm me down for switch. But they do just decide to let Rayquaza go. They then send in their own Duskmane, and then they pivot into Rhyperior for some reason. Probably trying to get a Snipe before I make it to a Sunsteel. But now I just have a Necrozma that probably has almost a Dark Pulse loaded. Now I'm going to Dragon Claw bait them. Dragon Claw gets a shield, thankfully. Can't see the shield because for some reason it doesn't show up on CMP sometimes. I don't know why. Probably because this is a very well put together game. But we're going to be able to go for Superpower. Superpower plus some Dragon Breaths will get the KO. And now we just have a Greninja into a Necrozma. Typically a Dark type into a Psychic type is going to favor the Dark type. There might be a few exceptions, like, if it was like a Shadow Gardevoir instead of a Necrozma, Greninja might be in a bit of trouble. But it's a Necrozma. We're just going to be able to take them out. They Dark Pulse bait me, but this game's completely over. They can double Dark Pulse bait me. I knew that second one was a Dark Pulse, and I still shielded it. We're going to be able to go for a Hydro Cannon, just for the disrespect, take him out, and take that game. Another Duskmane Necrozma. It's such a common lead, and Greninja just feasts on it. We go for a Night Slash, do some very nice damage, and I'm going to go for another one. I do always throw an alignment here because this means I make it to another Night Slash before they even make it to a potential Sunsteel, because if they go for a Dark Pulse, I'm not shielding it. Now, I'm going to be able to make it to another Night Slash. This will probably take them out or come very close. They shield it, though, and now I make it to another Night Slash before they even make it to a move. So Night Slash actually doesn't take them out, which is a shame because now I have to shield. They Sunsteel me for some reason, and they send in Zacian. Now, they do go for the Wild Charge right away. I farmed up. I was thinking they might go for another Wild Charge, but I actually did not expect it. They're going to close combat my Necrozma, and I was expecting a catch here. They didn't even go for a catch. This Dark Pulse will take them out because they're massively debuffed. And then they send in Landorus. Now, Landorus got hit pretty hard by the Mudshot nerf. Now it's 6 to a Sandseer. And because of that, we're able to outpace them, one-shot them with Sunsteel, and we take the game. We see Lugia on lead in the next battle. You'd think this would be good, but Dragon Tail is just so absurdly oppressive that I think Lugia still beats Greninja. Now, that would be the case if we didn't get a Night Slash boost. Now our Night Slashes and our Water Shurikens are going to do quite a bit more damage. So we're going to go for another Night Slash. Opponent, oh, we get another boost. Now this Night Slash will take him out, and it does. They send in Zekrom, so we don't really get to see how much damage the boosted Water Shurikens would do, but we're still up a shield, so that's fine. They Fusion Bolt me. Now I'm going to hopefully try and get a full farm down. I don't get the full farm down, so I catch on a Necrozma. They hit me with a Crunch, does some very, very bad damage for me. But now we're going to be able to go for a Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse grabs the shield, actually. This might be winnable now. I wasn't expecting them to shield it. They also hit me with a Superpower, and then they go for another one. I think they could have gotten a full farm down there. If they had gotten the full farm down, they would have won. But now, I'm going to Dragon Claw, then Superpower, because I don't think I need a double Superpower. So I'm going to save the energy, and I'm going to hit him with the Superpower. It'll take him out. Zekrom gets farmed down by one Dragon Breath, and we do take that game. We see another Groudon lead in the next battle. Opponent say switches Kyogre. Kyogre, I think I was watching a Home Slice Henry stream once, and he said Kyogre is basically feast or famine, where you either are going to destroy something or get destroyed by something. Because Kyogre crushes Landorus and stuff, most ground types, like Groudon and Landorus, Kyogre crushes them. But if it gets paired against a dragon, it just loses on the spot, unless it has Blizzard, which then it becomes a baiting game. But now that Kyogre's bait move got more expensive, it's even harder. So it is kind of a feast or famine Pokemon, so you shouldn't really safe switch it. It's kind of like safe switching a Bastiodon in the Great League. Regardless, we're going to Night Slash this Duskmane several times. We're going to make it to another Night Slash before they even make it to another move, because Greninja is so spammy. And they send in the Groudon, it's on Dragon Tail. But we got a Night Slash boost. This Hydro Cannon just one-shots Groudon, and we take that game. See, another Duskmane lead. Necrozma leads are so common. This one is on Metal Claw for some reason. Really don't know why. It technically does get same type attack bonus, but the energy generation on it is probably not worth it. We're going to shield a Sunsteel, and now we have a boosted Greninja with a bunch of energy. It's really not anything they can send in that wants to tank that. They can send in Palkia, and still, Night Slashes, since their boost, are actually going to be threatening. So, 2 Night Slashes already get them into the yellow, and the Water Shurikens that follow get them into the red. We're able to force a shield. And now we're sending in a Necrozma. I'm really hoping I caught an Aqua Tail here, and thankfully I did. I was worried they might go for a Spatial Rend, because even when resisted, Spatial Rend's going to do more damage than a neutral Aqua Tail. Thankfully they do Aqua Tail me though, and now we're just going to go against the Kyogre. Kyogre being paired against a dragon is pretty bad for it. Surface quite a bit of damage, and I might have wanted a Superpower here just because it'll do more damage, and they're probably going to shield it, which will negate their farm. But because my Switch Clock came up, actually Superpowering would be worse because it wastes energy. But regardless, we take the game anyways. Pretty bad lead as we lead into Dialga. I'm going to send in Necrozma, and the opponent, I think it's going to just Draco me and then switch out. So I'm going to Dark Pulse, they're going to tank it, and then they send in Shadow Tyranitar. That's an interesting Pokemon. I have not seen that one very much. Regardless, it's pretty bad for my whole team, as Dark type is going to be bad for my Necrozma. The Smackdowns are going to hit my Dragonite for heavy damage, and Greninja is just kind of frail, so it doesn't like the Smackdowns either. So now I'm going to tank the Brutal Swing, well, barely, and they send in Dialga, and they snipe me. Now I'm going to shield the Iron Head, though, because I need Greninja, because I just need it to be able to take out the Tyranitar. But Night Slash doesn't do enough, and now I'm forced to go for another Night Slash. Night Slash will take him out, but now we just get smacked down by the Tyranitar. I send in Necrozma, I get a very nice catch of the Brutal Swing, but I still don't know if this will save me. I'm basically playing as best as I can, but they make it to another Brutal Swing. Shadow Tyranitar is going to take me out with that, and now, if I can farm him down in Sunsteel, whatever hair in the back, I might win, but they make it to another Brutal Swing, and we do lose that game. Hopping into the final battle, and we lead Greninja into a Venusaur. Very spicy pick from the opponent too, and it's bad for me. Now, they're going to Breaking Swipe my Necrozma, and I'm going to be able to Dark Pulse bait them. Now, Dark Pulse actually gets a shield, and a lot of Rhyperiors don't realize that I'm out of Sunsteel right now, so I'm really praying they no-shield it, and they do. they just lost Switch and Shield advantage. And now they send in a Dialga. Dialga's still very bad for my team, but I'm just going to throw away Greninja because that's probably the best that I can use it for now. We even get a Night Slash boost. The game really wants me to try and shield this thing, but I'm not. I save a Night Slash as they send in Venusaur, and Dragonite's going to do very well into Venusaur. You see, Venusaur with Sludge Bombs, stuff like that, it hits for very nice damage in the Great League and stuff, but the stats just aren't the best for the Master League, which means it kind of needs a type advantage. Especially in a type disadvantage matchup like up against a Dragonite, it's not going to do well. My opponent actually calls the Dragon Claw bait, which is pretty nice of them, but we're going to be able to make it a triple Dragon Claws anyways. But I want to snipe with Greninja, so I do it, snipe him, and we take the game. Overall, this thing is so much fun to run. Even in the Master League, the thing can become a sweeper if it gets out of control and the opponent's not prepared for it. Like, on some of those battles, the opponents had a team that was triple weak to Greninja. Like, one Pokemon is weak to water, and they had 2 Psychic types. Like, I think one team that we saw was a Duskmane, Necrozma, Mewtwo, and Rhyperior, which just had no response for Greninja. And that's just so funny. And that's why I love running Greninja in the Master League. People just never expect it, and so it's just able to core break teams with such ease. And that's why I love it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.